all happened very quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, we had to get a few senior management meetings in place and try and work out what those processes would be and what they would look like, and then just making sure that they were in a position and easy enough for the guys on site to adhere to.
From our perspective, it was about delegating to senior management and putting different roles in places for those guys, and there were several sort of things we had to do. And first and foremost was probably advising our staff first and foremost, and our subcontractors, and then from their clients, advising them of the changes in the lockdown procedures and protocols.
So before we come back, we had to make sure that we're in touch with all of our employees, our subcontractors, and make sure everyone's on the same line of the new protocols, what we had to do to work under the COVID and to keep the sites running.
As an organisation, when it came to managing the new protocols with COVID, there's a lot of Zoom meetings for us, obviously a lot of communication where we no longer could sit around the table and talk to each other. Microsoft Teams was a system that we set up where we could communicate with ourselves and the team at the same time. We had to implement our new policies, protocols and procedures to make sure that our new hygiene practices we put in place were suitable.
So once we went into stage 4 lockdown, we closed down all the sites. People who could work from home did work from home. And once we came out of stage 4 and into stage 3, we implemented new safety measures on sites, including hand sanitizer, travelling alone to work, only working in small groups. And when it was safe, we brought the office staff back into the office.
So COVID probably affected me mentally, probably with the unknowns around what was going to happen in the industry and what effects that lockdown would have on our ongoing workflow, and that was obviously quite stressful with the amount of guys that we have on.
So from my angle, like, it was weighing up. There was two sides of it. Whereas one was a huge bonus was getting time to spend with young family at home and getting time to do some of those stuff around the house that you never have time to do. And then like Luke said, was on the other side of things, worrying about the extra strain of productivity loss and extra measures we had to put in place with guys travelling to site and stuff like that. So it was on the back of the mind.
So at first it was a bit scary because job security for us, being in the construction industry, it's very up and down, and it's very competitive as it is, and this just makes life a lot harder with getting jobs, keeping money coming in. So job security for me was a big one.
So for me, personally, I got to spend a lot of time with my daughter at home. I've got a 1-year-old. It was a good opportunity for me to catch up on missed time growing up with her.
I pretty much told my kids and stuff that we were having a holiday at home, and we pretty much enjoyed being home together as a full family. It's just very rare that I get that.
Personally, a wee bit stressful at the start in terms of knowing what would come out at the end of it. But it was nice spending a bit more time at home and with the wife. So, not all bad.
So from our angle, like the lessons we've learned in around health and safety is just the ability to do things online. We've had a few inductions in the past. We've had to meet the guys on site and go through different things, as well as new contractors, getting them to fill out paperwork, etc. Now we introduced a QR code system on our hazard boards, which they can now look at it from their phone. It takes them to a website and runs them through our induction online.
I think COVID allowed us to be able to revisit our health and safety processes and protocols as well, and I think it gave us the opportunity, we are focused on our health and safety, but it also allowed us to revisit those areas where potentially beforehand, maybe we're a little bit overlooked with the current workflow that was going on.
We found technology a big one with the Skype calls and all that sort of stuff to get all the new information to our employees, subcontractors. So everyone was on the same page, and it really helped with their communication. So when we come back, we're good to go, and we had a plan in place.
With my field, with asbestos, our health and safety has to always be top notch. So for us, it kind of sounds a little bit silly, but there wasn't a lot of new protocols that we had to implement. For us, it was just making sure we were maintaining our social distancing, regularly washing hands when we're touching or working around objects.
I've learnt that you have to be apart from people, and it's good to work on your own. And also, majority of the time, I think we really just needed to have like safe practices and really hit them hard.
The major ones for us was the social distancing and site cleanliness, safety measures in terms of wiping down areas, wiping down tools, and hand sanitizer inside was major for us.
I think it has to be. I think we're all just that little bit more responsive now in regards to changes that we have to make as a company.
I think the new normal is great because it allows us to be able to have a better understanding of our health and safety measures as a whole, as a company.
The new normal is the better normal, just because we've found that our subcontractors and employees are a lot more approachable on health and safety. We can go to them with new protocols and they're taking it with open arms. They're a lot, with our communication to them, they're taking a lot more seriously, signing in, signing out, and it's really helped us.
Well, I think it has to be. For us, in terms of trying to compare, past normal to now, in terms of how we're working, I probably don't see a dramatic difference. We're still making sure, if staff are sick, taking that extra precaution. Do they need to be at work? Do they need to be at home?
Yeah, I suppose it is in terms of the increased health and safety on site, and subcontractors are more aware of the health and safety procedures on site as well now.
For us moving forward, if we ever should go into a lockdown again, we've got those processes in place now, ready to act swiftly and move forward on that.
Yeah, small things, obviously, little things like being able to work from home remotely, I think is obviously one of those things that allows us to be able to move forward as well.
I think we've learned very quick response to government advice. Get in there, just listen, get it done, follow protocols, listen to the great advice that we've got, and that's hence the reason why now we've been able to trade and get back in so quickly. And we keep doing this and we'll stay out of lockdown.
Like I said, running with the Microsoft Teams and Zoom meetings, working individually a lot more than what you're used to in terms of working as a team, I think we'll be pretty well prepared should we have to go back into level 4.
Well, I think, to be honest, I think we've got a good plan now, especially with Waghorn builders. They've really come into the party with it all, and they've sort of made it quite a priority.
So for the staff that can, they will work from home again, and we have the majority of the procedures already in place if it does happen again, if we ever do have to go back into lockdown.
So we started using QR code scanning on your phone, so it's remotely done when you get to site, and it's minimised all contact with papers and pens and that, and now we continually do it. It's all automatic, it's easy on your phone.
I think now as a team, we're much tighter than probably what we were, especially with having to maintain the bubbles. Everyone got to know each other just a little bit more.
Yes, my family and I are very close now, and our kids are actually learning a lot more than they ever have done. So I'm pretty happy about that.
Well, the travelling internally in New Zealand rather than going abroad is a big one. The smaller subcontractors that we use from time to time are more up to date with all the health and safety procedures and are more aware of what's going on. And the wage subsidy from the government was a great help for us.
I think without a doubt, it was quite good just to reset and have a good evaluation of that whole health and safety culture that we have.
Yeah, and I think obviously from our perspective, it was be able to have the ability to watch people grow under a pressure environment and make decisions, under that pressure.
Better communication skills, and I think just on the back of that, even something that we've all sort of come to realise now is just that the importance of buying local and travelling local.